I wasn't going to talk about this, but it's pretty interesting. I was messing with the stove earlier, and I remembered that I've been promising myself for a good long time to fix this thing. Pretty complicated, actually. You got this this piece here, and then this piece here goes up in there, and then that crown looking thing right there holds the doors in. Well, the problem is that you see that little foot right there? This one snapped off. That's been the only problem I've ever had with this thing. So it's supposed to, see, it slides. But once you get that crown, once you get all this back together again, which I'll show, I wasn't going to show it at all, but now I kind of feel like it. If that foot isn't there, there's nothing to hold it in. I think the thing to do here would be maybe drill a hole in that, put a screw in it or something, and it doesn't have to be great. I might tack weld it, but I don't know. But I got one to work with, so it's not a stove anymore. Originally it had a stovepipe coming out of the back, and but I've just got the lights in it, which I'll do at the end. That'll be something to look forward to. I talked about it on another video when I was doing this insulation work here. But okay, well, I'm going to go down and see if I can fix that in a day or two. And let's not step on this. Stuff's very fragile. Casting, I don't know. I know it's more than 125 years old. Maybe much more than that. I don't know. If anybody out there knows, you know, let me know. But it's a Rob Roy, and it says 112 on it somewhere. Where is it? 112? I never can find it. Rob Roy, and then this opens. Okay. Did I lose that other screw? I've got a bunch of them. There it is. It's in the crown. There it is, 112. See, that crown goes right here, and it's a Rob Roy 112. So if anybody knows how old it is, thereabouts, or I asked somebody one time, he won't charge me $50 to tell me, and I told him no thanks. But Rob Roy 112, cast iron, heavy as lead. Now when I found this, it was in a pile of dirt in a shed in an old house in a place called Hillsboro, North Carolina. If you know anything about Hillsboro, it goes way back, like 1600s. And so Daniel Boone used to go there all the time and stuff like that. So let me turn this around, make it straight again. Okay. And so if you know anything about it, what it's worth or anything, but anyway, none of this existed. I had to go to Dual Supply on was it King Street, or it was King Street, I think. Margaret Street was up from it. And I had to buy a stovepipe and sort of unwind it and get it to this diameter. It took me quite a long time. You can tell where I had to kind of piece it together. Let me get a little bit more light on that. So you can tell I had to just sort of make something and seam it together. But anyway, I've always cherished it, taken good care of it. And that nipple was broken off when I got it. So we'll see if we can fix that. Okay? Okay. But like I say, this old steel is cast iron stuff is very, very fragile. It can just shatter like glass. Well, let's see what I can do, because I don't think welding to cast iron is not anything that I think I could do and have faith in it. So I'm going to try to just make something mechanical to hold that door in place, because I actually had a piece of duct tape holding it on, and I just don't want anything falling off and breaking off. And then this stuff, of course, that stuff that you can see through, that's mica, and not on the Rifleman. And there's some original stuff down. That's the stovepipe. Got some extra bulbs in there, cool. That's the stovepipe that was coming out of the back that I saved. So we're going to try to make this right. I have promised myself for years I would do that, so let's go do that. Okay, we're down here, and as you can tell, there's that hook right there, and there's the one that's busted off. I have elected to just drill, still got great stuff on my fingernail, little hole right here and a little hole right here, and put some pins in there and put some JB weld on it. And I'm going to try to find a way to make a little shim out of with some wax paper or something like that, or plastic that'll peel off. But let's get this fixed, and let's see if I can find a drill bit that little. And I think I can. Oh, there's my left-handed drill bits. So which one am I missing? The 1/8 left-handed? I might need to order one of them. Lord knows where it is. That looks pretty good there. Okay, well, let's go get the drill and sort of just hit that at an angle. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some kind of wire, like this stuff I use for powder coating. And my powder coating gun, it just completely fell apart yesterday. I had to super glue it back together, but it finally gave up. But I gotta tell you, that's been a great one, and I got a new one coming. So yeah, it just finally gave up the ghost. They go up. Mine only went from 10 volts to like 10,000 volts, and now you can just get a zip one that just goes 15,000. That's fine. It's volts, not amps. Not gonna, it'll hurt you. I got hit one time. Guy pulled the trigger on it, and he should not have. And I don't know. Let's see which one of these is better. These are generally not too good. It says USA on it though. Yeah, I got lots of very tiny drill bits. That's the best glass cutting thing there. All right, let's do this though, and get this going, because this has to sit overnight. Working pretty good. Okay, so I've got one of the holes drilled. So that'll just slip right in there like that. Don't get carried away and not pay attention to the other side of your work and let it fall off and crack or something. Yeah, baby, that's gonna be fine. So I've already started to see, it's got like a little 2 thing, so I'm gonna do another hole over here. Okay, let me support it properly. I've decided to use a combination of glues. I'm going to use some super gel with some zip kicker and do the wire part, and then I'm going to go up to the house and build this kind of out of JB weld. But look, I got a bunch of grindings out of that, so let's blow that off, and I cut the wire whatever length I want to, because I can just cut it off. I mean, so we'll do that next. So let's blow that off. A lot of times I just use this stuff for little jobs. No reason to crank the big air compressor up for what I just did. I mean really. So, okay, well, let's get some goo down in there and make sure it's supported well. Ended up using the one I thought wasn't so good, but anyway, just find the one that cuts the best and use that one. And I have to say too, I have become a real fan. This is an old DeWalt with a big stick going up in it. That's the adapter. And let me tell you, that has come in so handy, getting these old tools to work with the new batteries. How nice is that? And I think they make adapters for all kinds of different things now. So that has opened up, especially that little saw, that little circular saw that I never used. I've used the heck out of that thing. There it is right there. That thing sat on the cabinet for a decade, and use the adapter on that, and it's lightweight, easy. Put the 20 volt on that and you got something going. Okay, let's do this thing. Okay, I got my 2 pieces of wire cut. I got my gel going right here. We're gonna just kind of get that down in there. And then I'm gonna put some on the wire itself. Try not to get it on the cam bot there if I can help it. Try not to get it on your skin. I'm doing this off camera, but it's working. Okay. Try not to drop them. Hang on, everybody. Oh, I am really in a pickle here. I've pickled myself. All right. All right, okay, I got them. Okay, so I'll do one and then I'll show you the other one. Okay. All right. So there's one in. And I think in this circumstance, there's messy don't matter too much. Okay, so we can just bend that around when we get there. I know you're not supposed to touch that with your fingers, but I don't care. So my fingers are all covered with junk anyway. Okay, so now you get the zip kicker, and you just got to give that the lightest little kiss. And that'll do right there. And then you let your super glue leak all over your stuff there. Okay. 10 years after. All right. Okay, let's wipe that off. Okay, so that's already cured, but it's a good idea to let it sit for a while. And so we're going to take it up to the house now. And we are going to... I got things to do. Hang on a second. We'll go back up to the house. I'll just crank you back up there. One thing before we go back up to the house, get your really nice pliers and just bend them around on whatever it is you're doing. I doubt you're going to be doing this exact thing. But see, I pretty much mimicked that. So all I got to do is fill that in with JB Weld. Now I'm going to say this so I won't forget. But you know, you can speed JB Weld up with a little heat. I'm not going to do that because I've used super glue. I'm not in a hurry anyway. It's not really a stove anymore. It's more of a, oh, I wanted to look in here and make sure that I put my, yeah, there they are. Yeah, I got both of my EC1 electrical bits here. So I just couldn't remember where I put them. I thought I put them in there. Those are the things you use on outlets and whatnot. So anyway, just want to make sure I put them there. Okay, I did. So I'm trying to be good, Johnny, and putting everything away because I've worked pretty hard in here cleaning up. So that looks okay. Okay, back up to the JB Weld, and might as well just go ahead and cut them off too, since I know I got good cutting tools down here. So we'll do that. Okay, this time I'm really going back to the house, I promise. Okay, back up at the house. They're going through 2 or 3 vials of these bubbles every day. So I get about 5 or 6 hours or less out of one pretty good size. That's like 2 cups of nectar, but that's okay. That's what I wanted. Sure is fun. And the boss will sit over there. Okay, so here this is. So that's pretty good right there. I got my JB Weld ready to go, and once again I did that. I do that all the time. I'm not going to talk about spiders. We're talking about spiders, but I got some spider mash coming. I'm going to get rid of these spiders. My friend told me, Mick said, he's talking about spiders all the time. So they're all over the place. So I'm going to get some stuff. We'll talk about that later. So dang, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to get some frog tape and sort of try to make a mold around that, and then we'll fill it with JB Weld, and we'll wait. Like I say, I'm not going to heat it up. The only way I can keep shoes clean is to just keep them right there, because I tear the heck out of stuff. What fun. Okay, I made a little form in there. I don't think you can see it, but I'll turn that. This makes it flash, but yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's terrible, isn't it? Hold it away some. But I've got a little form in there that I think I can just dribble some JB Weld down in there, and it should be fine. So can't heat it up now because you got paper around it. But I got it all sealed up around the bottom. You're upside down. So I've got it all sealed around the bottom, and I think that'll just hold it right there. So once I get it dribbled in there, I'll probably just kind of set it kind of at the angle it is now and just let it just sit there, because JB Weld, once mixed, is viscous, but not so viscous I think it'll run out of there. But it don't matter. You just cut it like steel once it cures. But that looks just about right. Took me a minute. Wasn't hard. I've poured it down in there. Well, I have no real way of knowing how it's going to look. I can see my little wires right there, but that's okay. I can build that up with Bondo or something. It don't matter as long as it's strong on the inside and holds the door in place. So we're going to let that just sort of sit right there and sort of just settle down in there. And I'm going to leave this here so I can know when it's cured out. So it's 3:45, 3:44. And we'll check it out. It'll probably be late tonight before it firms up enough for me to mess with it. So this is going to be several days. It's already been a day or two, so it'll be a couple of days of work, but sure is fun. I just love doing stuff like this. It is the next day, and my little bit of JB Weld has hardened, as it does overnight if you give it more than 14 hours. So let's just take this off and see where we stand. And we may have to go down to the shop, and it's going to take me a minute, so y'all wait right there, and I can done enough with this thing not to mess it up now, huh? So I'll show you the last little bit. We'll look and see how my little pour came out here. Okay. Can't wait to get to work on that water fountain thing out there. I gotta go get some. I really wasn't too concerned about releasing agent because it's just paper. I thought about that, but I was afraid that it was such a small pour that it would, well, here, let's try it this way. It's such a small pour that it would get onto the little pins. I think I'm going to get my little clippers here and try to get up underneath it. Thanks Charles Runyon for this little bit of heaven here. I've really loved these over the years. I remember some people, we called him the Sacred Cow. I think his name was Brian. If you can't remember somebody's name, just Brian. It's usually what it is, but he was, they called him the Sacred Cow for some reason. He could do no wrong in Charles's eyes, apparently. And when you call him the Sacred Cow, he'd go, moo moo, buckaroo. But I remember the Christmas that Charles gave everybody these. He was actually, I considered it to be somewhat disrespectful. And I never had much light for him, just from being disrespectful about that very event, including this right here. Funny the things you remember, isn't it? Okay. I felt this was going to be difficult. I was right. Now I'm probably going to let this cure out a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now this is going to be, luckily this is, since it's cast, there you go. I got it off. Now I'm going to use a Dremel on high speed. I kind of like that. Let's see how much I got back there. Okay, well that's a good start. It's very firm, of course. You can see a little bit of the metal there, but I'm going to paint it black. So we're going to chop most of this off, and then I'll put that, see how it's got that little cleavage in there? That's the way you would say that. And I'm going to probably do the same thing here. Dress it up. You can see how it's not bifurcated. It's just got cleavage. Well, that is really something. I am really pleased with that. Alright, well, let's take it down to the shop. Thing scares me. I can't wait to get it back together again because I'm afraid it's just going to bust. Oh, there's something on the back of it. Hey, I didn't even know that was there. 12R. There's where it was originally riveted into the old piping. And it says 112R period Roy, R-O-Y. So I guess they knew at the factory when they cast these which stove it went on. So I might throw some rust treatment on that too. I don't know, kind of like the original look of it. It's amazing how a lot of this stuff isn't broken off. Is there any other markings on it? No? Okay, well, that verifies Rob Roy 112. Okay, let's go down and get the Dremel. Okay, we're down at the healing bench here. We have our Dremel ready to go, and I brought the door down because you have to cut these to go up under here on this door. And there is a right and left door. You'll see that it has a little wing right there. And you can see where the duct tape was on it. So hopefully, and that mica stuff that flakes off. But it sure has lasted a long time. There's no markings on the inside of that. So it goes like this. And there's a locking tab on the top there. And I've got a piece of sandpaper right here. I'm going to kind of do the back and forth with the sandpaper on the inside to get it to tuck in. So I should have brought the other door to kind of show you how it works, but I think this will be okay. So let's get it cut it off about right here, and let's get the Dremel going. And probably should wear some kind of something on your face and all that other stuff. But I'm gonna cut it slow. See, all right. I think I know where the tripod is. Yeah, there it is, right there. We'll hook this up and I'll show you how this goes. Okay, so right about here, and this should come on for me if I had it turned around the right way. Turn that down some. Let's do it like this so I can get the cable a little bit relieved. So right about here. And see, JB Wheel cuts pretty good. I don't want to go much faster than that. I don't want to hit the door. Let's turn that up a little touch. See, that just cuts pretty nicely. And there you go. So that goes there. I'm going to cut this little wing off right here. You can hear it hitting the metal, so you stop. Okay, now we're going to shape our little now we're going to give it that little cleavage right there. Try not to hit the door. Now, that looks almost exactly like the other side. other that you can see I need to trim off on in here. So I brought my utility knife. I think I can just trim that. Just shave it off right there. JB Weld is incredibly hard, but it is also workable. Look at that. So, sticks a little bit. Try not to hit that mica. Okay, just a little bit more. Now, I don't really need to open this, but I do need it to not fall off and hit the floor and crack something. This stuff's pretty heavy, so if it was to fall off, I think I'm going to round that edge right there a little bit. That'll take some stress off of it. I don't care about that little piece of green tape in there. It's not going to matter. Okay, it goes this way. And see, there's a lip right here. So you put it in like that. It almost sands it down itself. Let's get a little bit of sandpaper here. I had a friend named Jack. Jack borrowed my belt sander. And it's like a, let's just say it's 17-inch, whatever it is. And he, oh, look at that. And he bought a bunch of the wrong size. And it's one of the greatest gifts ever because it has, I use that sandpaper all the time. Well, I can't be happier with that. That's as good as it ever was, probably better. So stand by just for a sec. We'll be right back. Okay, I got the Seal Glide and the project source. And we're just going to watch this disappear into that. So there's that one. And then we're going to give a little extra rattle there. And all you got to do is, looks just like the other one. That's all it took. So I'm going to let that kind of sit there for a minute. I'm going to get a little bit of Seal Glide. I'm going to kind of lube up this area. One-handed Seal Glide. Gotta like that, huh? Like I say, I don't need to open it, but maybe someday somebody will use it as a furnace. And we'll just stick that in there. And just put a little bit over here. And if you never use Seal Glide, it is some great stuff. It's really makes working with rubber bits worth the effort. So I'll tell you what we're going to do too. We're going to put a little bit up here. Also, okay, well, let's go put it back together. We'll go for a tractor ride. Let's go for a tractor ride. I got to put tractor away. Okay, this has got that wonderful Yanmar 3-cylinder in it. It's been such a great tractor. 2305. Okay, oop, gotta have it there. How'd you like going on a little tractor ride? Wasn't that fun? Let's lower the door and lock her up. And go back up to the house and put this thing back together. How about that? Okay. Well, oh, I gotta go turn the breaker off. Okay, we'll head back up to the house now. Battery almost exhausted. So make sure I flip everything off on that. Okay, good. Alright, that's just a little bit of the way it is here. I'm not going to be able to work on the siding for a while, so maybe till Sunday. So, and that's today is Thursday. So that's had sufficient to dry, and that's what it looks like. How cool is that? Okay, so everything is everything. Put the face on the doors, and then this locks the doors in. So let's put her together and see how she plays, see how she works. I've got the screws in with nuts behind them very loose, and I can slip the door in now. And you got to do it just right. And I'm going to do this with both hands. I've come too far to mess this up. So you see it slips up under here. I'll show you in a second, but just I've done too much so to mess this up. Alright, I've got it all mounted and tight. And let's see it. Got a little bit, I got some deep creep over there. Let's oil that up too. Okay. So now, look at that. Closes perfectly. Opens fine. As good as it ever did. Probably better than it was when it was new. And there you go. So it comes to a stop right there. See, it won't fall out now because it's hooked right here. No need for duct tape. Look at that. It closes perfectly. Well, let's fire this mother up, huh? You ready to do that? I know I am. Now, I'll show you what I do here. Like I say, I got these lights. And we're not going to stress. I don't want to break the other one off. Okay, so what I do is, I got these lights here. And I hook them on the back of these screws. See, and that's all you got to do. So let me get those in some kind of order. And we will, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so we've got everybody where they need to be. Okay, so there's that one. And we'll leave that open. There is that one. There are these two. And they're hooked on those long screws I had. And they'll go right to there and right to there. And they look good, don't they? Now all you got to do, the way I have this made up, is I'll put this little switch right here. And here we go. See, you can see it looks like there's a fire in there. So I would come out and do this at night, but I can't for a while. And I'm just going to post this. The point was to fix this, but you just get them kind of lights. And I guess I could bring the shade down or something, but that's okay. You get the point. And all of those just look like that. Maybe I'll do an FU, a follow-up on it later. Let's get her all dressed up here. And and remember, this comes off and there's that catchy plate in there where you could put your kettle. I imagine people put a pot there to keep the humidity up for it. So there it is. There's the old Rob Roy. You can see the little flame down there. Fake flame. They're kind of funny if you ever get these. When they get hot, they quit flickering. But that's okay. One more time. And there you go. Alright. Thanks a lot for watching. Give us a thumbs up. And we'll do something else later, I'm sure. I got to finish the siding outside and inside. And I'm sweating like a horse out here, and it's not even hot. So I just got some stuff to finish up. It's going to be interesting to do. So thanks for spending time with me. So let's turn this off and unplug everything. And we'll go in now and get some coffee. Listen to the radio or something. Bye-bye. get to see the hawk in a minute too. Hawk visited the house, so stay tuned for that little tiny bit here at the end. Bye-bye. With its little nemesis, the hawk is on the edge of the roof there. I've heard it scream a few times. Here, they don't really much care if they see humans too far away. So if I go up there, it'll fly away from me. So let's see if it'll fly toward me, just kind of for fun. Nope. A little bit. I was kind of hoping it'd fly this way and fly right over me, but it's going away. Okay, well that was cool.